got this book. I know you've read this book, Modes for Alfred Whitehead. It's a great book, isn't it? I mean, he's a great writer.
He's an amazing writer. He's an amazing thinker. I think he's often referred to as a process philosopher, isn't he? And he's just, it's so erudite, it's so rich. It just makes you wear a different coat in your thinking all the time. He's shifting your thinking. He's wrote about psychology, about education, about physics. He's such there's a great well of thought there. And this book is a great way into his
it's a super
his
book.
way of thinking.
I mean, I've scribbled all over this book.
I can see,
but I just found this in here.
Go on, read down.
It's just a little. I mean, so much good stuff, but this just. He's quite. He'll say a lot, and it seems a bit convoluted, and then he'll just sum it up.
Yeah,
I think this.
He helps you along the way, doesn't he? When it gets dense, and then he'll give you this.
And he's like,
I hope I can understand this bit.
Well, he slaps you in the face with some. So anyhow, so here we go.
Yeah.
So this is an end of a paragraph.
Mm.
So the simple-minded use of the notions right or wrong is one of the chief obstacles to the progress of understanding. So I'll say that again. The simple-minded use of the notions right or wrong is one of the chief obstacles to the progress of understanding. What does that mean?
Yeah. Well, I think it was Goethe said, sort of every concept is, or any theory is already a concept, I think he said.
Mm. Yeah. So, I mean...
and it's saying it another way, really. If you want to riff with it, but I
just reading that. I mean, the simple-minded use of the notions right or wrong is one of the chief obstacles to the progress of understanding. So it's saying that if we just think of something as being right or wrong, it's stopping us understanding what something is. Where does right come from? Where's this idea of something is right? To think of something, that's right, it means this. But where does that come from?
Yeah.
Who tells us that something is right to do it that way? Where does that come from? Where's that come from?
Yeah, and that's what he's saying. And he's saying, slow down. Try and wear a different coat in your thinking. Go somewhere else. Try and view it from a different architecture of thinking. See what you can learn from it.
Mm.
Think that your right might be wrong.
Yeah.
And your wrong might be right.
And that actually there might not be a right and a wrong. There might just be a different way of perceiving something. So the right and the wrong perhaps is narrowing our ways of perceiving something. So this is a right way to do this. This is a wrong way to do this. It can't be that simple.
No. I mean, it's funny, Rudolf Steiner would say that metaphysically we're quite stunted. It's quite harsh in the way he talks about these things. But I don't know if people ever think, why do we divide things up into objects outside of us?
Mm.
Why do we say that you're here, I'm there? Why do we say that over there is that tree? We're already dividing things up into this multiplicity and this diversity of different independent objects.
Mm.
And I think, and maybe I'm getting a bit more complicated there, but Whitehead is pushing us to think about the way we think about it from a sort of a generator function perspective. He's trying to really get us. That's what I love about him. He really gets you going. He unpacks what you thought was right.
He's just saying it's not that simple, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's saying that you need to think beyond simple. You need to go into the world and see how chaotic it is, but don't be afraid of that.
Yeah.
That's
absolutely.
wonderful.
Yeah.
And we can't always find an answer to something, but we can try and experience something and to understand it better within ourselves and then with others too, and to share that experience rather than saying this is right and this is wrong. It's one or the other, and
so much of our education system teaches us these, what we call, I can't think of a simpler way, are these epistemic commons, these truths, and they're said to us as truth.
The tick or the cross.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is it right or wrong? This is my answer. It's either a tick or a cross. Can it not just be like, there's some truth in what you've written, some things that I would not have considered before and would have said wrong, but the way you're seeing this makes me understand it from your viewpoint, that perhaps what I thought was the right way of doing something might not turn out to be right, and is certainly not right for others as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
it's well worth diving into Whitehead. I'm glad you brought that book out.
It's a great book.
Yeah, that was it. Modes of Thought. Yeah,
absolutely love that book.
There's a lot of wealth of things on YouTube, on the internet, for people who discuss Whitehead. Ian McGilchrist, that epic book he wrote. I think Whitehead. I think he has the most footnotes is from Whitehead, which I think really is really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think I might have got into Whitehead via McGilchrist. I don't. The thing about these sort of great thinkers is you get interested in one, and then they lead you to another one, etc., and then you just branch out with your knowledge of that, and the more you learn, you realise you don't know much.
Yeah,
but it's not about finding a definite right or wrong. It's about the experience of life, and kind of giving up the idea to have a right or wrong, isn't it, a little bit, perhaps?
Yeah,
what we perceive as being right.
And I think he's almost saying, can you view the mind as like this perception that we have? Can we take it, like, can we step out of it? Like, here's this perception, the mind as a whole perception in consciousness. Can we take aside all the presuppositions, the way we think about everything, right and wrong, and can we begin again? And I think that's what he's
rub it out,
yeah,
and draw it, and don't necessarily have boundaries to your image that you're drawing, your symphony that you're writing, whatever it might be, but just to experience and give up that idea of that right and wrong. In a sense. I mean, you might have biases towards things that inspire you and helps you to understand, but you can't give someone a tick or a cross. It's not always that simple.
No, and it'll use your imagination. It'll breathe more life into the way you do perceive things, and trying to unperceive them the way you normally think about them. I think that's what's so wonderful with the work of Whitehead.
Yeah. So give him a read.
Give him a read. Yeah.